Hello my beautiful friends, hello YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna share with you guys my story, my journey, and my experience and how I have learned English. Now I'm doing this video in the first place because a lot of you guys actually have complimented my accent, the way I speak English, and first of all, thank you so much for such amazing and wonderful comments. But also a lot of you were pretty interested in how I achieved this level. So today's your lucky day because today I am sharing with you guys everything, my whole story, the whole shebang of how I learned English. Yeah, I think you can pretty much tell by my accent that my first language is not English, it's Romanian in fact. But I decided to do my YouTube channel in English just because I love speaking this language and because I want to practice it. So now just relax in your chair, sofa, bed, wherever you're sitting. Take a drink with you, a beverage, whatever works for you, possibly a snack, and just enjoy this video. Okay, so before we go into the video, I think it's very important to mention this. These tricks that I implemented in order to get my level up at English, you can implement in any other different languages, and you can use those tricks to learn various languages, the languages that you actually are interested in. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, now that we've covered that up, I think it's accurate to mention that my story with learning English has begun in the first grade, but now we started learning the basics, you know, the numbers, how you can count in English, the greeting methods like hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, stuff like that. Well, that being said, we didn't learn any grammar, any of the tenses, and I think that was really good because as little kids in the first grade, we probably wouldn't have been able to assimilate that kind of information, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that was the thing about the first grade. Now moving on, I think till the 6th or the 7th grade, I was really bad at English. Like really, really bad. And I had bad grades. And this wasn't because I didn't like English. Like, it wasn't because of that. I think it was because I wasn't able to understand it. And to give you the whole picture of how bad my accent was and how bad I was at English, whenever my English teacher would ask me to read something out of the book, I was trying to make this weird and awful accent. I was trying to pronounce each word in such a weird way. I'm literally cringing right now. Just thinking about this makes me cringe. But anyway, whenever I was trying to read something out loud, everyone in the class would literally laugh at my accent. And obviously, as a little kid in the 6th or 7th grade, I got hurt and I thought people were mean to me. I was really hurt about this. Obviously, everyone would get hurt in my situation, I think. But I remember taking some time to think about this, and I've come to the realization that those kids, my classmates, were not the problem in this situation. My lack of knowledge was actually the problem in this kind of situation. So I remember vividly, like it was yesterday, going to my dad and saying, "Dad, I want to know English." My dad was working the computer and he looked at me, he says, okay, honey, good for you. And I said, "Dad, no, you don't get it. I like really want to know English and I don't know it and I don't have this knowledge in English and I really want to speak it fluently." So my dad, the amazing and wonderful person that he actually is, took me to an English school that very day. And I think it's worth mentioning to say that it's not a fancy English school, nothing bougie, nothing about this. It's just a regular English school where you can take English classes and you can learn this language. So there I took a test in order to see my level in English, obviously, and I failed it, obviously, because I had lack of knowledge in this area. So obviously I failed the test. So I enrolled in elementary classes. Now, you might ask yourself, well, if you didn't have any knowledge, why didn't you take beginner classes? Well, in fact, I had some knowledge in English. I knew, like, the basics, numbers, grading methods, different objects, but I couldn't express myself. So I didn't know how to use grammar. I was very bad at grammar, and I didn't know how to use tenses. That's why I enrolled in elementary classes. I remember so clearly when I entered that class. I felt so comfortable. I felt really so comfortable. We were like 8 or 9 students there in that very class, and everyone was just like me, having the same level in English and, having the same goal of actually wanting to learn English. And yeah, I felt very comfortable there, and that's how I started taking classes and learning English like from scratch. A couple of years go by, and in the 9th grade, I decided to start watching movies and TV shows and talk shows and everything in English. The thing was that I was already doing that, but I was watching everything in Russian, and I was really into American movies and American TV shows, but I was watching them in Russian for some reason. And then I thought, like, why am I doing this? I really love this language and I really want to know this language. So one day, out of the blue, I just decided to watch a movie in English with, subtitles in Romanian, my first language, and see how it's going, see if I understand anything. So yeah, that's exactly what I did. And I think the first ever movie that I watched in English was this movie called Prom or something. Yeah, it was a teen drama movie or something like that. And don't judge me. I mean, I was in the 9th grade, okay? I was into that kind of stuff. So anyway, I remember liking the fact that I could actually hear the real voices of actors and actresses, and that was very new to me. So yes, I was watching and watching and watching and watching everything that I possibly could in English. Yeah, so I think everyone kind of started noticing my improvement in English, I guess in the 11th grade or something like that. But anyway, in high school, I had an amazing teacher at English because she taught us how to openly speak, how to openly express ourselves, and how to express our own opinions over various things, and how to make great text analysis, and how to write amazing essays and make amazing presentations. So definitely, I think she had an amazing positive impact on my learning abilities. But anyway, do you know this fact that whenever a person is traveling or changing locations to another country, and if he spends there enough time where he's in this constant environment where people are talking in the same kind of language, he kind of starts to understand it in a kind of way. Well, I think something similar to that happened to me, sort of, kind of, because I was watching at least 5-6 movies a week, plus TV shows, talk shows, interviews, all that kind of stuff. And I think I was spending around 2-3 hours a day on a regular basis from Monday to Friday watching movies and TV shows or something like that. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I was spending much more than just 2-3 hours a day. Definitely listening to people speaking, expressing themselves, in movies kind of had an impact over my learning abilities. Now, I also want to mention that around the 11th grade, I started actually reading books in English. And obviously that also improved my vocabulary. Yeah, I definitely highly recommend to read books, watch movies. Yeah, now what I'm doing, I don't know, I think this is kind of something on a more weird side, because whenever I'm watching a movie and if I really like a movie, I kind of do a whole very thoroughly detailed analysis on that movie. I am watching each and every interview with various actors and actresses. I'm watching you know, the whole analysis on how this movie was made. I'm watching who is the casting director, the executive producer, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, everything that I can possibly find on internet and YouTube, I'm watching that. I think this is kind of like weird. I know not everyone is doing that, but I just love watching interviews of how actors and actresses get into their characters and how they get into this transformation for their roles and how they prepare for their roles. Okay, so to sum everything up, I think that this process is going to be different for each and every one of us, because something that might work for me may not work for you and vice versa. And everything that I did was to have a good base in English and then watch movies, possibly read books if you are able to, if you have time, if you're able to understand them, and spend time in this environment where you can listen to people talking in English. On top of that, if you have someone that you can talk to in English and practice English, that's going to be 10 times better, because there's one thing to just listen to people talking and there's a totally different thing to actually practice English and speak it. That's one of the main reasons why I actually decided to start my YouTube channel in English, to actually practice this language, and also because I simply love this language because it's a beautiful language. Now obviously for me, this process of learning English, it took me quite a few years, I'm not gonna lie, but that's because I wasn't in any kind of rush. I wasn't rushing anywhere, and obviously I was enjoying this process of learning because it was so interesting to me, honestly. And I obviously loved this journey of learning English and bettering myself every single day. Those years went by and I am very grateful that today I'm able to express myself freely in English. And not only that, but also the fact that other people are able to understand what I'm talking about. So that's kind of my story, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. And also don't forget to click the notification button down below so as to be notified every single time when I upload on this channel. And obviously, you guys know English because you're watching this video and you're probably understanding it. So tell me in the comments down below what worked for you, how was your journey of learning English, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I love you guys to the moon and back, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next videos. Bye bye.